Okay, is this yeah, okay, it's recording. Hi guys. Yeah. Okay. This is probably the first video using my voice, my actual voice. But yeah, we are gonna do a tutorial about charting editor. Yeah. This is basically for whoever just wants to learn how to chart and get basics in coding. I'll do another tutorial about coding and such in FNF. It's not that hard, but you're supposed to learn for it. But I won't go deeper into that. So the first thing you would do is just launch Physics Engine. Yeah, just open Physics Engine up. Get this a bit down. I got full screen and just press enter. So yeah, what you could do to open the charting editor, you could go and press 7 in the menu. So just click 7. This is the link editor, menu charter editor, dialog editor, dialog portrait editor, and so on. There's the chart editor. So just press enter, and it would load as a test song. But if want you want to load any other song, you could just go out. Could go over here, leave the song, just exit the menu, go to any song you wish. I'm just gonna go with the Twitter song. The song is made by, Spud, whatever. It's fine. Okay, so you're basically present with this thing. You yeah. Okay, let me explain how this works and everything. So you have sections like this section. You have charting, events, note, section, song. So I'll just be focusing on charting. Events we want it's for another tutorial. Note, same thing. Sections will be also talking about it with charting and song. So what you basically need to know for now, I'm gonna clear the events. How does section, song, and charting works, and all of these. So I'll just read this and explain how it works. So you could either use the mouse wheel or WS to move the section. So every section is basically a song. Like you could press enter to start the song. There's like 4 beats per section, so that's normal. If you want to change it, you could go to sections and just go like this, or even more. So 6. You could also just do like something like this, but I would recommend going with 4, not 6. I I, I hate you. Just go with 4. Now, change BPM I think is the most weirdest thing, but let's continue with this. AD, go to previous next section. Basically, faster movement rather than using WSD or mouse wheel. You can just go to AD. It's changing sections immediately rather than going like this with a mouse wheel or WSD. So up, down, shift counters, trumped. While snapping is also a cool thing. You could go like this. This is just movement, and snapping is this thing. Snapping is basically like zoom, which is easier to chart. You could like go. Let me do this instrument so I could show it. Like you have this, and you're having a trouble charting something. So you would go here, and all of a sudden you need to chart a pattern like something like this. What you could do is either use snapping, so it's like use left, and go like this, and then change the snapping to normal, and do this. But I would recommend just using the zoom, which is Z and X. Z is to zoom out, and X is to zoom in. So you could use this. It's easier rather than snapping. Let's see. Output song blocker, West song black play rate. That's just changing. That's useless. I would say hold shift to move. Oh yeah, shift you could use to move faster. Just faster movement. Everything's faster. Move out. Escape to test your chart inside chart editor. So it's basically chart editor. It's loading song and you're just testing it. Oh, it also shows the stats like the beat, and steps and hits and whatever, how much misses you get, and you just go back. And the next thing we're just gonna move into this, the BPM, Office, and everything over here. Playback rate, it sucks. Don't use it. I'm not sure what metronome. I don't know even if I'm describing it correctly, but I think this is useless. Actually, never mind. It's testing the beats. Disable auto scroll. This is sometimes it's helpful whenever you're like trying to make a really long note. Like, let me show you. You could also increase it by using QE. The long notes. I forgot to say that, but yeah, you could do that. And yeah, whenever you're trying to do long notes, you would struggle because it just automatically goes to the next section. So you could use this to save an auto scroller, and it would be easier to do it. So that's also a thing. And if you want to immediately do the thing, you just could click, or that's it. This is just increase volume thingy. Mouse scrolling optimizer. I think it's just making the mouse go faster. I'm not sure. I'm stupid. Okay. Vortex editor. That could be useful. So let me explain. It shows the arrows. It's basically a vortex editor. If you know what vortex is, you basically know what the thing is. But it shows arrows, which is easier like to chart for some people. It was easier to chart for me when I start to charting. This thing is basically snapping. Could go snap. You see? But I'll recommend going to yellow, the normal one, and just using zooms in general. So yeah. So let me turn this off. Ignore progress warning. This is just some warnings, like whenever you're trying to save something or delete. Like if I would go click no, this actually will clear your current progress. Proceed. If you an expert or you sometimes you could just forget. So I'm recommending not disabling it. Just keep it on. Oh, this is actually really useful. Wavestream for instrumental and voices. So let me just speed it up and go voices. So you have Wavestream for voices and Wavestream for instrumentals. So it's basically would be easier to chart the thing. Like this, you see? Easier. Just really easy to chart with it. It's really easy. So if I would go to where for voices, you would see it. So you would have like the voice play, and it would be a lot easier to see if you had any mistakes in the chart. Like you would see, it could have been I could have been place it like this or even like this, but no. I can see that I need to do a double note or whatever, jack, whatever you would want. But because I was using Waveform for voices, it's easier. Also, yes, sometimes it can mess you up, but that's actually really rare. So yeah, yeah, mute instrumental, mute vocals, basically mutes the thing. I would recommend if you're a starter to mute the instrumental if you just started, so you could understand and hear the voices easier, so you could chart it easier, And I feel it's a suggestion, but if you're going to chart the instrumental, then we should just use this. Basically, easier to use rather than just go like this. You see, so yeah. Now, boyfriend notes, play sound. This is really, really good. This is my favorite thing probably about charting in Physics engine or any other engine that has the thing. So it does like a tick, which you could measure and see if it sounds like the opposite. Like if he goes ah ooh ah, and it will do a tick like this. Yeah, so it's pretty easy and pretty cool to understand whenever the character goes ah ooh ooh ah. So yeah, and without the tick, it just feels kind of lame. But some people actually understand it. Anyway, if I explain everything, I will explain this. So let's go back to the start, and let me just use waveform for instrumental. So beat snap is snapping. So I recommend you using it as a normal one, which is 16, and beat. It basically shows how much beats you have in the current moment. Like steps is just a singular, like two jacks. It's two steps. You see? This is 0, this is 1, this is 2. And so on. Office, I think that's useless. It's just messing you up and such. So yeah. Now let's move into sections. So this is really important, and I see this a lot in mods. So basically, mods hit section is when BF sings, and whenever it's disabled, it's whenever the opening sings. So for like example, if boyfriend sings, it's gonna be turned on. And girlfriend section, I think that's pretty easy to understand. It's just girlfriend singing. So if you want to girlfriend to sing in a section, you would go girlfriend section. And yes, she could be singing in the open section. It matters if you do must hit section. Alt animation is whatever you could just do a shortcut rather than using the note, like the animation or alt animation. You could rather than just use the alt animation. That's just if you have an alt animation for the character. Beats per section. This is how much beats you want to have in your sections. Change BPM. I think that's pretty easy to understand. It changes the BPM, which is beats per minute. Yeah. And copy section, copy paste. I think that's pretty easy. Just copies the section, copies the chart to another section. You could paste. Clears the section, clears the chart of the section. Swap section. Pretty easy to understand. Just swaps the placement with the sections. Copy last section, copy last section, and such, and so on. Do it nodes that just copies the chart, copies it, and just moves it to another to BFs, basically to the open it or BFs nodes. It's just like a duet whenever two characters sing weird notes. Just changes this the how do I call it? Just changes the perspective. So yeah, that's pretty cool too. But yeah, this that probably is useless. So events, it disables all events. Notes, it disables all notes. Pretty easy to understand. Now a song. So I think everyone almost knows what this is. This is basically the name of your song. So yeah, this is the opener. You could select which opener whatever you want. You could select, let's see, Big B, the character, or dad, or mom. Doesn't matter. We have Pixel. It doesn't matter. This is the girlfriend, whatever you want, basically. Just messing around, you could. Inspect or normal. This is the stage. Like, whatever you want, you could put electrical, for BG side, basically the slide one, house, whatever. It doesn't really matter if you want to chart. Load events, it loads the card you have, which doesn't really matter right now. Song speed, it the text, it just selects, you can just select it in numbers, the song speed. I think you will understand how does it work and how it works at the song speed. Beats per minute, that's really important. If you don't get this correctly, there's a BPM, you just messed it up. You really did. It will be messed up. Just make sure you get the correct BPM. What I do to get the correct BPM, I go to Error Vortex. Could go launch the exe. It's really useful. You could go over here, go to any song. For a matter of fact, like go to reflection, go to instrumental. Always select the instrumental, not the voices. It will mess it up. And drag it over here to Error Vortex. Go to tempo. Adjust Cynic and find BPM, and it will be correct. So if I would go to the song, I would go to here, I would go to tempo, adjust Cynic, it would do the BPM, which is 118, like the song it says, 118. So yeah, that's pretty useful, you could use it. This is all I wanted. Moving on. Just clear events, clear notes, pretty much. And I think I explained everything about the chart editor and such. So let me just clear the notes and show off how you could use all the things I just said. The chart. I'll use the blur things so you could read it easier. And we use the waveform voices and play sound for opening. And it's pretty easy. And you could just copy paste it. And you could check it.
3, 2, 1, go!
You could use bot play or graphic mode if you want, doesn't really matter. The most important thing, you just check the chart you made. You could also check it in by pressing escape, and checking the thing and checking it. Like if I would go to the start and check it. There we go. So yeah, that's basically the whole tutorial. I got nothing else to say. That was basically the starter tutorial about basically learning the charting editor and such. So I hope it helped for whoever wants to actually learn how to chart. And that's it, I guess. I can't really say anything else. So yeah, that's the first tutorial I have ever made. And yeah, thank you guys for the 600 subscribers, I guess. Now I will go. Yep.